Let's turn to Sri Lanka, where the inevitable has happened. The government has officially run out of dollars. There is no fuel, no imports, only an empty treasury. Where does Sri Lanka go from here? Technically, they have hit rock bottom, so the only direction to go is up. But that journey, going up, will be hard and painful. Pretty soon, Sri Lanka will default on its debt. The payments were due last month, but Sri Lanka got a 30-day grace period. It made no difference whatsoever. In the last 30 days, things have gone from bad to worse, and the result is this: Sri Lanka is all set to default after midnight. When that happens, rating agencies will downgrade Sri Lanka, possibly to D rating. And D is as low as it goes. It signals the highest degree of risk. In other words, zero foreign investors. But a default is the least of Sri Lanka's worries. The bigger problem is shortages. You see, Sri Lanka imports almost everything: fuel, cars, consumer goods. Most of it comes from outside the country. And to buy those things, you need dollars. No dollars is equal to no imports. The worst hit commodity is fuel. As of today, there is none left in Sri Lanka, no fuel. If you go to a gas station, two things can happen. Either you will be turned away or the queue will be kilometers long. And the worst part is this: a petrol shipment has been languishing in Colombo since the 28th of March. So the fuel is right there in the country. But Sri Lanka does not have the money to pay for it. How long will this continue? The government says until this weekend. After that, the crisis could ease up a bit. Sri Lanka has just received $160 million from the World Bank, and that money can be used to buy fuel. But there is a problem again. Fuel is not the only expense. You have to pay employees. You have to fund subsidies. Where will all this money come from? Sri Lanka's plan is to print notes.
Against my own wishes, I am compelled to permit printing money in order to pay state sector employees and to pay for essential goods and services. However, we must remember that printing money leads to the depreciation of the rupee.
Well, that's a slippery slope coated with grease. Printing more money sounds like an easy solution, but it is not theoretically sound. If you print more money, inflation will rise, and that's the last thing Sri Lanka needs at the moment. Shortages, forex crisis, and hyperinflation. How is the new Prime Minister planning to tackle all of this? Ranil Wickremesinghe has three ideas. Number one, sell Sri Lanka's flag carrier Sri Lankan Airlines. Number two, print more money, like we just said. And number three, increase revenues by raising taxes and utility prices. That last one could trigger public backlash. More taxes means less money in hand, and it's not an ideal situation amid inflation and shortages. Nonetheless, Wickremesinghe is pushing through, and he's sticking by his bitter pill.
The next couple of months will be the most difficult ones of our lives. We must prepare ourselves to make some sacrifices and face the challenges of this period. I have no desire to hide the truth and to lie to the public. Although these facts are unpleasant and terrifying, this is the true situation.
Full marks for honesty there, but can Ranil Wickremesinghe earn the public's trust? That's the big issue for him, because Wickremesinghe has the Rajapaksa mark on him. He was appointed by Gotabaya. He's supported by Mahinda's lawmakers. So how independently can he function as Prime Minister? So far, it's been a mixed bag. Sri Lankan police have arrested 2 lawmakers for instigating violence against protesters. 22 others were banned from leaving the country, and all of them belong to Gotabaya's party. In fact, 2 of them are related to him: Mahinda Rajapaksa and his son Namal. Both their passports have been impounded by the police, so the law is taking the right course. No signs of any favour to the Rajapaksas. Having said that, one move by Ranil Wickremesinghe is raising eyebrows. On Tuesday, the opposition tabled a no-confidence motion against Gotabaya. It was defeated. Only 68 MPs voted in favour, 119 voted against it, and among them was Prime Minister Wickremesinghe. Why did he vote against it? Well, Wickremesinghe gave a long explanation on Twitter that he has no problems with the no-confidence motion. His concern is the technicality. You see, Tuesday's vote was a fast-track one. It called for Parliament to drop every other business and debate Gotabaya's ouster. That Wickremesinghe was not willing to accept, or so he says. He wants a gradual debate on the no-confidence motion. And if that happens, he has promised to support it. And this is huge. The Prime Minister is openly agreeing to support a motion against the President. Usually it's the other way around in Sri Lanka. But Wickremesinghe's position may not matter. Remember, his party has 1 seat in Parliament, 1 seat. The Rajapaksas have the support of more than 100 lawmakers. So the message to Wickremesinghe is clear. Your job is to fix the economy. Do not bother with the systemic problems. Just find a quick fix. Will it work? Well, that depends on the Sri Lankan public. If they keep protesting against Gotabaya, some ruling party MPs may rethink their support. If not, it's advantage Rajapaksas. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.